I have some happy news for you tonight, George. I'm expecting a little stranger at my house. That's why I was knitting. It's true. My avocado tree has come into blossom this morning. Well, here I am again now, coming out of my winter hibernation with a chance for each of our couples to win up to $10,000. And if any of them say the secret word, our duck will come down here and pay him an extra $100. This is the word right here.
Well, Groucho, we'll meet our first couple in just a few... Groucho, we have a married couple standing by. Mr. and Mrs. Guy Hatfields. So, folks, go in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide an extra $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mr. Hatfield, and I presume Mrs. Hatfield. Now, Mrs. Hatfield, I'll start with you. And I may finish with you, too. Now, what is your first name?
Valentina.
Valentino? Oh, are you any relation to Rudolph?
You mean Rudolph Valentino?
No, I mean Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. Where are you from, Val?
I'm from Vladivostok, Russia.
Vladivostok. Well, where did you go when you left Vladivostok? Umps, minks, or pinks?
No, my parents took me to China.
China? Did you meet a fellow there by the name of George Fenneman?
Never, no, never did.
His folks come from there. Now, you're Guy Hatfield? Now, where are you from? G? How do you pronounce it, G?
Guy.
Guy.
Uh-huh.
Are you from Paris?
No.
Are you from Dixie?
Well, yes, I'd like to say I'm from Dixie.
Well, go ahead. Feel free to say that.
I was born at Anderson, Missouri, but when I was about 7, we went to Logan, West Virginia.
Why, didn't you like Truman?
Well, that is the headquarters for the Hatfields.
You're one of the Hatfields?
Yes, I'm one of the Hatfields.
You mean the McCoys and the Hatfields?
Yes.
Really? Are you a real, genuine Hatfield?
Yes, I'm real Hatfield.
What are you the genuine, real McCoy?
No, don't call me a McCoy. I'm the real Hatfield.
How did this Hatfield-McCoy rhubarb get its beginning?
Well, back before the Civil War, a McCoy hog got in the Hatfield
McCoy what?
Hog.
Oh, a hog.
Uh-huh. And the Hatfields put the hog up for damages. The McCoys had to pay for the damages it had did. And that made them angry with the Hatfields, so they insulted a Hatfield girl at a dance, and her escort took it up and shot a McCoy. So when they came after the boy, the Hatfields took it up from there.
And the McCoys, too, huh?
Yes, uh-huh.
Well, how bad did the fighting get? I mean, what were the casualties?
Well, there was about 300 Hatfields killed.
Wait a minute, 300 Hatfields killed because
And
one
McCoys.
pig got in the corn?
Mm-hmm. 300 Hatfields and McCoys. And
which got killed the most, the Hatfields or the McCoys?
Well, they claim more McCoys.
Well, what did you do? Did you chalk them up on a blackboard or something? Or did you have one of those things that they have in a pool room?
It was mostly trees.
Huh?
It was mostly trees.
Trees? All right, Doc, beat it. You said mostly trees, and that's the secret word, so you get $50. And should I give it to your wife, or do you handle the money in the family? She's answered it. She's answered already.
You got me on the spot here.
Yes, you got me on the $50.
Yes.
And what do you mean by trees?
Well, you said where did they spot them? They spot them on the trees down the road.
You mean they hung them?
Yes.
They were also, I thought they shot them.
Well, if they caught them, they didn't waste the
Bullets?
ammunition
I
on
think that's smart. Huh? That's very thoughtful of them, I think. And all this happened because the McCoy hogs got into the Hatfield corn.
That's...
But why was that so serious? Would it have been just as bad if the hogs had got into, let's say, the lima beans?
No.
No?
You see, corn is a very... valuable product.
Why is that?
Well, as eating it, they also drink it.
I guess down in West Virginia you can live high on the hog. Well, they do a little moonshining down there, in other words, huh?
Yes, a little.
Isn't that illegal?
Scattered. Well, it isn't if you don't get caught.
Well, that's the American way of life. Honesty is the best policy. Now, Guy, these people must be kind of stubborn to let a little thing like pigs in the corn start a major war. Are they unusually touchy?
Yes. One time I started up the mountain, and one of these mountaineers, I imagine he had a steel back somewhere. He stopped me and said, "Where are you going there?" I said, "Well, I'm just going up the hill." And he said, "I reckon I'd turn around and go back." So I thought to myself, I reckon I'll go back. So I did.
He said, I reckon I'll turn around and go back?
No, he said, I reckon I'd go back.
Oh, he said, you better go back.
Yes, that was just a suggestion.
What did he expect you to be doing up there? Steal his liquor?
Well, he just didn't want me up close to it. He wasn't taking any chances.
He didn't trust you, in other words.
Yes.
And was there any justification for this suspicion?
None whatever. None whatever.
And did you point this out to him?
I didn't take the time. I just took his suggestion.
Well, I reckon I'll stick to Beverly Hills. We hate our neighbors just as much as you do, but unfortunately, we're very poor shots. Now, how long did this feud continue?
It lasted over a period of 80 years. They,
Weren't you rather foolish to stop it?
well,
You were going along so good at the time. Why did it stop?
well,
You run out of trees?
in about 1914, Kentucky declared war against West Virginia. They tried to extradite the Hatfields, which the governor wouldn't let them. So they declared war on West Virginia, and the two was fighting, and the United States government sent down troops to stop it.
And they were also, the United States was also fighting with Germany at the time. And you weren't interested in that war. Huh?
Well, we had our hands full.
Well, I think you're right. Silly to get into a foreign war when you can get in one in your own country. You people are in business for yourself down there.
Well, yes.
Rather oblivious to what's going on in the rest of the United States, huh?
Well, we tend to our own business.
And do you pay taxes?
It's just like making moonshine when we are caught.
Well, have you ever paid any tax?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Under duress, huh?
Well, it's
Aren't the government
kind of painful.
Yes, aren't? Well, how'd you find your way to L.A. after living in the hills of West Virginia?
Well, you won't believe this.
I believe
Groucho,
anything you tell me, huh?
But I came into L.A. one night. It's dark. Got a hotel room. Next morning, I got up and thought I'd get my car and drive around the block to get some breakfast. And I got on one of those freeways.
Yeah.
And the cars was going on both sides of me and honking. And
Those were geese.
And I told my son that we was just going to have to stay where we was.
In the hotel, you mean?
No, on that freeway.
Oh.
Straight line. And I wound up in Capistrano.
Did you arrive with the Swallows, or were you later? Well, what happened after that?
Well, I landed in San Diego.
And that's where you live now?
Yes.
And are you gainfully employed in
Yes.
San Diego?
Yes, I'm employed
Making
by...
moonshine?
No, I'm a builder.
A builder?
I've been at building practically all my life. I plan to build my own deluxe homes for
Well,
people in the South
Don't
in
you
a short
miss?
while.
Oh, you're going back south?
South Southern California.
Oh, you don't miss the mountains?
Yes, I
And
do
the
miss
stills
that.
and the shooting and everything and the
Well,
romance?
I miss the mountains. If you've ever been in West Virginia, you have to stand in the middle of the road and look straight up to see the sky. And about the only flat place is down in the road.
Yeah. Well, we played in Wheeling. That's West Virginia.
Uh-huh.
And no act ever went flatter than we did in Wheeling, West Virginia. Now, Valentino, what do you think of the Hatfield-McCoy feud?
Oh, Groucho, this is just a little family quarrel.
Yes, that's true. How did you meet Mr. Hatfield? In the mountains?
No, some friends introduced us.
How'd you get along at first? Did you get along well?
Oh, I didn't like him. He seemed to me a little dry.
Well, he's away from that moonshine, you know. He doesn't seem dry to me. He's sort of a Will Rogers character, you know. He's pretty funny. He's a very attractive personality. You should be very happy that you snared this chap here.
I am.
Well, Val, your marriage seems slightly incongruous. Guy's a West Virginia mountain man, and you're a Russian. How are things working out? Is your marriage a success?
Oh, yes, we are very happy, Groucho.
Can you say the same thing, Guy?
Oh, yes, we're very happy together.
Well, are you happy when you're not together? Well, Guy, does Valentino have any little idiosyncrasies that you'd like to see improved?
Well, so much the time I can't understand what she's saying.
Could you give us an example of what you mean?
Well, we'll be walking down the street, and she'll commence talking in some language. I don't even know what the language is. I'll go along for a block, and then just for general principles, I say no.
Well, don't crowd your luck, Guy. Any husband who can't understand what his wife's talking about is way ahead of the game. Well, you're a lovely couple, and you look like a very happy couple. And what language does she speak normally when you're talking together?
Well, I understand the people who can understand languages that she speaks Russian and German and Chinese and Japanese.
You mean you don't speak any of these languages?
I don't even speak good English.
Well, this is one place where you don't have to speak good English. Well, if we spoke good English up here, people would think it was one of those Sunday intellectual shows, and they'd switch to another station. Well, it's refreshing to see a married couple who get along as well as you two, and if you ever start understanding what you're saying to each other, my advice is stop talking and start ducking. Now, let's see how good you are on the quiz. Are you ready?
Well, Groucho, Valentina being a Russian and not understanding English too well, and me a hillbilly, could our children answer the questions for us?
Where are they, home?
No, the children are in the audience.
How many children have you got stashed away out there?
Two. We have a
Two?
son and a daughter.
We had a woman ask us that 5, 6 years ago, and she asked if her children could help, and I said yes, and she brought out 19 kids. And then they didn't win anything. Okay, well, let's see the kids. Would you, the two children stand up and come on down there.
All right.
Well, how do you do? Now,
Stand back here.
what is your name?
Lilo.
Lino?
Lilo.
Lilo. And what's your name?
Wes.
West?
Wes, W-S.
W.S. Are you both Hatfields, or is one of you a McCoy?
No, I'm Dinkhouse.
You're a what?
Dinkhouse.
You're a Dinkhouse.
Yes.
What's a Dinkhouse?
It's my name. It's a German name.
Well, that clears it up, eh? How is it you got different names?
My mother married again. My mother married Mr. Hatfield, and
Oh, well, I think she showed very good judgment. And what name do you sail under?
I'm a Hatfield, too.
Oh. Do you know these people?
No, I don't.
I'd like to have you youngsters meet Mr. and Mrs. Hatfield. You two. All right, let's play You Bet Your Life now. And Guy, you and Val step over there and sit down. You got a chair around there?
Uh-huh.
Keep your fingers crossed. Here, over here. You got your squirrel gun ready in case they don't win any money? All right, you selected Earth, Sea, and Sky. I'm going to ask you some questions. If you miss 2 in a row, you're out. If you get 4 in a row right, you win $1,000. Now, ocean tides are affected by what heavenly body?
The moon.
I was going to say Jane Mansfield.
You now have one right.
What do you call the path of a planet?
Orbit.
Orbit is right.
You now have 2 right.
Planets shine by reflected light only. What do you call heavenly bodies which shine from their own lights? Planets shine by reflected light. What do you call heavenly bodies which shine from their own light?
Luminous.
No, that's called the name of the kind
Oh,
of
it's
body.
a star.
Star or sun.
Oh.
You now have 3 right. Get the next one right, and you'll have $1,000.
Which of the planets is known as the red planet?
Mars.
I was going to say Russia.
And you now have 4 in a row, and you win $1,000.
You always bring these kids along when you have a tough job facing you? Well, you won $1,000, and you can keep it and quit, or else you can come back later and try to double your money. You may even get a chance at 5 or even 10,000. So go over there and sit down and think about it, and thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Groucho, we have a couple of teenagers who want to meet you now. They're Levon Thram and Charles Wheeler. So folks, you in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, Wheelman, welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide an extra $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Levon Scram and Charles Wheeler, huh?
No, it's Thram.
Thram?
Yes.
How old are you, around 43?
18.
8?
18.
Oh, 18. I guess it's that ponytail. I thought you were Silky Sullivan. Levon, you go to school?
Yes, I do. I go to Glendale College.
College?
Yes.
What plans do you have for the future? Are you studying to be a well-known figure, like a car hop?
No, I plan on becoming a lawyer.
A lawyer? Mm-hmm. It's a worthy ambition. Why did you decide on the law? Have you been reading the life of Chief Justice Marshall?
No, a friend of my father's is a lawyer, and he's always been talking about his cases, so they've interested me, and I wanted to become one.
You say your name is, what did you say your name was?
Charles Jackson Wheeler, sir.
It's a lot to handle. I'll just call you Chuck, huh? Does that have your official approval?
Well, no, Chuck sort of bugs me. Why don't you call me Jackson? It's more dignified.
Chuck sort of bugs you? You want to be dignified? Okay, Jackson. As far as I'm concerned, you're Solid Jackson. How old are you, Solid Jackson?
15, sir.
And you want to be dignified?
Yes,
At
sir.
the rate you're going, when you're 20, you'll be ossified. By that time, you'll be known as Stonewall Jackson. What does bugs me mean? I don't understand that.
Well, I mean like you don't dig it. You don't like it, in other words.
Where'd you go to school?
I go to Cooper High School.
What would you like to be when you get out of school, assuming that you ever will?
I think I'd like to be a doctor.
A doctor, huh? You could be a doctor, you know. You marry a girl, and then she could be well for nothing. And
That's right.
She could marry a minister, and she could be good for nothing. You know, that joke is 50 years old. And from the response I got, I suspect you all knew it, huh? What kind of a doctor do you want to be? Horse?
No, I think well, I got a lot of time now, but I think I might be interested in surgery, possibly brain surgery or something.
On a horse?
No,
Horses don't have any brains. If they had, they wouldn't run around a track and let people win money on them. They don't get anything. Are there any doctors in your family at the moment?
Well, not at the moment. My great-great-grandfather was a lawyer, big lawyer, real large, came on real strong in the Mid-East.
He was real large? What did he weigh, about 300?
No, sir.
You mean he was important?
Yes, sir.
You talk sort of beatnik, don't you? Huh? Do you dig that beatnik stuff?
No.
No. You like them?
Oh, he's very nice.
That's a very careful appraisal. Like when you try to sell your house to somebody. Kind of reaction you get from the real estate agent. What does your father do, Jackson?
Oh, he's a television MC personality.
Oh, I didn't know there were any. I thought you had a shifty look when you came out here. What is his name, George Goebel or Pinky Lee?
Oh, Jackson Wheeler.
Jackson Wheeler. Oh. What kind of a show does he have?
Well, he has from 10 to 12 in the morning, Channel 11, give it the old plug.
Well, if you're going to be a horse doctor, you want an old plug.
Well, yes.
He's on every morning from 10 till 12?
Yes, sir. He used to have a late show. 11
Why is he on at such a peculiar hour? Is he ashamed to let people look at him?
Oh, no, it just, I don't know, it just, to each his own.
That's one of the most baffling answers I've ever heard.
Groucho, I hate to interrupt, but as you know, Mr. and Mrs. Hatfield and their children live in San Diego, and they won't be able to return next week, and since they've already qualified for a chance at the big money tonight, they'd like to try for it. Of course, if we do that, then Jackson and Levon won't have really time to play You Bet Your Life and talk to you, too, so I was wondering if maybe they could come back next week and try.
Yeah,
Sure.
Well, can you come back next week?
Yes.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. Just to make tonight's trip worthwhile, I'll ask you one question for $100. Now listen carefully.
Okay.
Who is buried in Grant's tomb?
Grant.
Right, so you each get $50 for tonight's work, and when you come back next week, you'll get a chance to play You Bet Your Life and maybe win a lot of money. So see you next week.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much, Mr.
All right, here are the Hatfields. Would you come in? This are the children, right? Wesley and Lilo?
Now, you won $1,000 so far. If you decide to try for the big money and you fail, you wind up with a total of $500. What are you going to do?
We're going to try.
You're going to go ahead, huh? Okay. Now, you pick a number.
7.
No, 8. 8
8.
is the first one.
8. Put up 8 in here, George. And what is the other number you've chosen?
7.
This number comes up, you know it's worth 10,000. If the 7 comes up, it's worth 5. If neither number comes up, the question is worth 2,000. Okay? Roll it. Well, your numbers were 7 and 8, and it came up 3. So this question is worth $2,000. The Nobel Prize for Literature in 1958 was awarded to Russia's Boris Pasternak. His novel, Critical of Communism, became a bestseller. For $2,000, what is the name of this much publicized book? What is it?
I believe it's Dr. Shivago.
Well, you've won $2,000. All right, Joe?
Yes.
Now, what are you going to do with the swag?
We're going to put the money in the business.
In your business?
In my business, yes. Building houses.
I see. Well, you couldn't put it to a better use. Congratulations, and thanks to the entire family for being with us. You bet your life. I have some happy news for you tonight, George. I'm expecting a little stranger at my house. That's why I was knitting. It's true. My avocado tree has come into blossom this morning. Well, here I am again now, coming out of my winter hibernation with a chance for each of our couples to win up to $10,000. And if any of them say the secret word, our duck will come down here and pay him an extra $100. This is the word right here.
Well, Groucho, we'll meet our first couple in just a few. Groucho, we have a married couple standing by. Mr. and Mrs. Guy Hatfield. So, folks, go in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide an extra $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mr. Hatfield, and I presume Mrs. Hatfield. Now, Mrs. Hatfield, I'll start with you. And I may finish with you, too. Now, what is your first name?
Valentina.
Valentino? Oh, are you any relation to Rudolph?
You mean Rudolph Valentino?
No, I mean Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. Where are you from, Val?
I'm from Vladivostok, Russia.
Vladivostok. Well, where did you go when you left Vladivostok? Minks, or Pinks?
No, my parents took me to China.
China? Did you meet a fellow there by the name of George Fenneman?
Never,
No.
never did.
His folks come from there. Now, you're a guy, Hatfield? Now, where are you from? G? How do you pronounce it? G?
Guy.
Guy.
Uh-huh.
Are you from Paris?
No,
Are you from Dixie?
well, yes, I'd like to say I'm from Dixie.
Well, go ahead. Feel free to say that.
I was born at Anderson, Missouri, but when I was about 7, we went to Logan, West Virginia.
Why, didn't you like Truman?
Well, that is the headquarters for the Hatfields.
You're one of the Hatfields?
Yes, I'm one of the Hatfields.
You mean the McCoys and the Hatfields?
Yes,
Really? Are you a real, genuine Hatfield?
yes, I'm real Hatfield.
What about, are you the genuine, real McCoy?
No, don't call me a McCoy. I'm the real Hatfield.
How did this Hatfield-McCoy rhubarb get its beginning?
Well,